Hey, Shalom Markin, this is Vakar Kapash from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom Ahmed there to hopefully elect, preaching truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video. I'm going to entitle this one A One-Way Road to Perdition, right? Because that's the journey that Esau is on. Okay, you Edomites, you so-called white people, right? They're currently in rulership over the earth right now. Right, your end is nothing but destruction. All right, there's no hope for you. All right, and it's outlined in the scriptures, man. And this is what's gonna happen to the children of the wicked. All right, and so we're just gonna get into it. I'm gonna start here in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Um, let's see. I'm gonna start with verse 2 here. Right, it says that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Yahushua is at hand. Right, this is what we're telling you, man. The end of this kingdom, this rulership, this world is coming to its close. And right now, the so-called white man, the Edomites, are at the helm of this world, right, as prophecy has dictated. Right, but this is a prophecy that was spoken beforehand, right, before this current day, this current era. Right, and verse 3 says, "Let no man deceive you by any means." Right, and that's the job of the devil. The devil is here to deceive you, to distract you, to turn you away from the truth. Right, and that's exactly what Esau does. Right, he doesn't want you knowing about him. You know, he doesn't want you knowing the truth. He doesn't want you to know about Yahushai or the Most High or the fact that we're Israel. Like, he don't want you to know about any of these things. All right. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Right. This man of sin, the son of perdition, which means destruction, is Esau. Okay, the children of Esau. All right, and like I said, this is his job to play the part of the devil, to keep you distracted, to keep you deceived, right? But he can't deceive the elect. That's why we're on his ass, right? With all these prophecies, right? Because he fits them to the T, and he wants to ignore it. He wants to pretend that the Bible ain't real and all this kind of stuff. You know, he wants to convince you that he's the righteous on the earth, man, and he's just a damn liar, right? He's in fact the son of perdition, right? And it's been revealed in this time. Okay, exactly who it is, man. But it's been a mystery for all this time, right? And it's taken up until this time, this era, that this has been revealed. All right. So verse 4: "So who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God." Right. And this is Esau's beginning with the elites mentality, their ambitions to prove themselves greater than God. And this is why they pursue all these endeavors, man, to try and outplay the Heavenly Father and outdo the Heavenly Father, to establish themselves as the God of this world, right? While casting the Most High down and His Son down, But it's vanity, it's foolishness, right? But like I said, we've had to wait for the man of sin to be revealed, because it's been a mystery, right, for the most part, right? And like I said, it's been revealed that you devils, the so-called white people, right, are these Edomites, are these is this man of perdition. Okay, because in end times, where we go to Revelations, we're gonna talk about here. Okay, Babylon the Great, right? The end times is a kingdom that's gonna be ruling over this world, known as Babylon the Great. But it's not gonna be known as Babylon the Great, because Babylon isn't great in this time. It's not talking about old school Babylon, ancient Babylon. It's not talking about that, because the man in Iraq and them places right there, they ain't doing a damn thing, right? So this is symbolic. Okay, Babylon the Great is symbolic of this nation that would be ruling, right? And we all know, we don't play games, that you talk white people rule the world. You run things out here. Beginning of America, right? This is what he's ultimately talking about. America, right? America is Babylon the Great. America is, this son of perdition, right? You Edomites head that, right? So you and your nation, your kingdom is going to be destroyed, right? So Revelation chapter 17. I'm just going to read from... let's read from the top. We'll read down to verse 5. And they came out of the seven angels... They came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right? This great whore is America, right? That sitteth upon the beast, okay, which is NATO and the EU. Okay, it's counterparts, it's contemporaries, right? That it has ruled over, right? He has ruled over the beast. Okay, America does, right? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Everyone's, trying to, be in bed with America, to do deals with, and to, to prosper under America, right? To sell their goods to, and so on and so forth, right? And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of a fornication, except in their ways, right? Because there's strings attached to all these deals that these people want to do. Things, things they're gonna have to concede to. That's why all the world's changing, right? In favor, into the ways of America, man, right? So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Right, this is the beast. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, right? Because she is royal power. She's a ruler over that beast, right? And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, right? So it's a mystery. All these things had to play out to be revealed, right? Because in the end times, you were going to be revealed, right? You are Mystery Babylon. You Edomites in America, beginning of America, right, is Mystery Babylon. Okay, you elites, right, that are ruling this world. You are the house of Esau, and all your children, right? You run this earth, right? And America is your head, okay? Your power, okay? But like I said, it hadn't been revealed that, until this time, that you are these sons of perdition, sons of perdition, So yeah, a mystery, right? Being revealed. It says Babylon the Great, right? The mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, right? Again, this is America, okay? And you Edomites are running it, running the earth, right? So it's been revealed, clear as day. You want to run, you want to do the whole Cain thing and and run around and run about, acting like you don't know what the hell we're talking about. That's not me, That's not me. That's not me, But the fugitive role you play to perfection, man. Trying to escape judgment, right? But it's gonna catch up with you, right? Eventually, right? It's Isaiah 34. I'm reading from verse 5 here, right? It says, For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse to judgment, right? This is why you're the son of perdition, because you're the people of the Lord's curse, of the Lord's judgment that's going to come upon it, right? Right? And again, all these names we're going to be hearing, that old Idumea, Babylon, these are all interchangeable for these end time prophecies, right? When it comes to these judgments, or this ultimate judgment, right? The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bozrah, which is the chief city, right? Which is America, ultimately, right? It's symbolic. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, right? Because America is going to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire, right? And America is going to be no more. There's going to be no one left in it, right? So great sacrifice is coming, right? The unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be salt with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be burnt into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched day nor night. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, the owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. Right? Because you ain't going to recognize that land anymore after the Lord's done with it. And thorns shall come up in the palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl shall rest there, and find herself a place of rest. So there shall the great owl make her nest, and lay and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one after her mate. Seek ye out the book of the Lord, and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate, for in my mouth he hath commanded, and his spirit hath gathered them. And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation. They shall dwell therein. Right? So this is like this great judgment that's going to befall Babylon the Great. Okay, i.e. Idumea, i.e. Esau. Okay, in the land of America, right? Their power, right? Their power seat is going to be destroyed, right? And there's a lot of death and destruction that's going to take place in America, right? But again, these prophecies reveal who you are, okay? And you're on, like I said, you're on this road to perdition, right? In 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? Like we said, you're the guy in charge right now, right? And you're the guy coming to an end. You are Babylon the Great. You are the people of the Lord's curse. Okay, and so the Lord's going to destroy you. Right? So you're on a limited time right now. Pardon me. This is Malachi chapter 1 verse 2. So I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. Right? So again, the Most High don't like you Edomites, man. Okay? That's why you have such a great judgment waiting for you. Okay? You are the people of the Lord's curse. Right? Because you're going to do away with you completely. All right, so I hated Esau and laid these mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And that's what the Lord's doing, man. You've come back into power, after the fall of Rome and all that kind of business, right? You've come back into power and built again. The Lord isn't gonna, have it be established forever. You're crazy, right? And so the Lord said he's gonna throw it down. And that's what he's gonna do when the Lord sends those nukes, man. And the angels to destroy everything. It says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever, right? People of the Lord's curse, who the Lord have indignation against forever, right? So the Lord has not abated that spirit that he has against you, man. Okay, he's fervently dead set on destroying you, Is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1, right? It says, for the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God Yahweh concerning Edom. Okay, Idumea, Edom, Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon. Yeah, it's all the same. You have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, let us rise up against it in battle. Right, this is why you're on the road to World War III. Okay, you're on the road to war right now, man. Because of everything that's going on. Okay, you're being led into war, and these other nations are being raised up to fight you. Right? Again, all over, what these crazy small hats are doing, man. Your head tribe, okay, in the land of Israel. You're creating some madness in the earth, man. All right, so you're all going to be drawn into a war. You're being prepared for war, right? See, behold, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised, right? And all these things that are being circulated about you and your history and what you've done, right, is being brought back into remembrance, to the people, man. And the way you're acting, the way you're behaving, the way you go about doing things, man, people are angry about it, man. Right? So you've become greatly despised in the earth, despite holding the power seat still. Okay, you're not that beacon of glory, that beacon of hope that everyone looked at like, oh, look at America, oh, so righteous. No, people are looking at it sideways now. America is not what it used to be. Okay, inside America, man, things are falling apart, man. Things are decaying. You know, shit all over the street. You know what I'm saying? The flamers everywhere. You know, all these great places and that they're getting worn down, man. Closing up shop and all kinds of things, looking mad. You know, so people are looking at it differently now. Okay, they're starting to realize that America's just really full of shit. All right. It says, behold, I made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, right? Because you believe in your power, in your might, in the power that you wield, right? The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's the attitude of you Edomites, especially in America, right? Who can take out America? Who can take down America? Who can replace America? You scoff at all these other nations that are attempting to come up onto your level. You think you obliterate absolutely everybody, man. But I tell you, hey, you are deceived. You know, that false hope, that trust is misplaced, right? Because the Most High is about to give you a whooping, right? And things ain't gonna go your way. All right. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, which is just a symbol of the so-called these Edomites, right? The so-called white man, right? You know, you got it on the on the money system, you know, on the money, the flags and all that kind of stuff, right? That's just your symbol. Always has been, right? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, right? So again, you might be, you know, doing all of this stuff. You might be, the Lord may have allowed you to be prosperous in the earth and have dominion over the earth, but the Lord's still going to bring it down, just like He said He would in Malachi, right? So you're going to do all these great things, you know, set your nest on the stars and all this kind of stuff. You've got satellites and space stations and all kinds of things going up, you know, above the earth, or in the upper limits of the earth, right? The Lord said, "Nah, you're going to be taken out. We're going to take you out. I'm going to send my son, and we're going to send an army, and we're going to take you out. You ain't going to reign forever." Right? And again, that's you. You've done all this. You've set your nest in the stars and, you know, done all this stuff, man. It's Job 14:5. So seeing these days are determined, right? You've already you've already been granted permission to rule for a certain amount of time in this world. You're not going to rule forever. Scripture says you know you believe your houses shall continue forever, man. Or the inner thought is that the houses shall continue forever, man. That ain't going to be the case. Okay, the Lord's going to put an abrupt end to your rulership, man. Right? So seeing these days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, with the Most High. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, right? Because he is the end of the world. He has to come to an end, right? He isn't going to be the ruler forever. This is not the kingdom of heaven, right? This is nothing but another wicked kingdom that's ruled upon the earth, man. And the Most High is going to take this one out in a spectacular fashion. Okay, and when this is done, okay, the Lord is going to establish his son to rule over the earth. Okay, and the Israelites. That's why it says Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So I say you're just on a road to destruction. There is nothing else for you. No, there's no other outcomes. This has always been your destiny. You know. So yeah, the Lord's appointed the bounds that he cannot pass. Right. And I'm going to close out with this, is Isaiah 47, verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." So we got virgin daughter of Babylon now, right? Babylon the Great, yeah, it's all the same. Right, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Right, the Chaldeans are known for their witchcraft, they're practicing magic. Right, and this is exactly what Esau's into, man. Heavy into it. Right? Heavy into the witchcraft, right? O daughter of the Chaldeans, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, right? Because they've used their witchcraft to deceive the people. And this is exactly what he was supposed to do when he came back into power. You know, this devil, right? Take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the fire, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, right? Thy shame shall be seen. And this is why these nations are despising you, right? Because of all the evil wickedness that you've done in the earth, right? It says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. When Yahushua comes, he come in as an angelic force of with power, great glory and great power. And he's gonna get gory, But yeah, he's not coming as a mortal. He's not coming as a mortal. He's gonna come as an immortal, right, with great power, okay, in his godly form, right. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness. Shut the fuck up, man. You got shit to say, yeah. The Lord's just gonna cast you out, man, destroy you. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, right? Again, relating to what he's reading in Revelation, right? This the whore that sitteth on the beast, the Lady of Kingdoms, right? I was wroth with my people and I've polluted my inheritance, right? By, as it says, and given them into their hand, into thine hand, right? Because we serve slavery under you devils in America, right? Transatlantic slave trade. Everyone knows about that, right? So that's all evident, right? And given them into thy hand, thou didst shew them no mercy, right? And again, that's all documented, Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Thou hast said, I shall be a lady forever, right? You think you're going to rule this world forever. Because who has your power on the earth? Yeah, nobody. No one is, nobody. Especially on an individual basis. Nobody's got the same type of power that America has. Right? But these nations are collectively coming up against you. Right? And even if that wasn't enough, right? The Most High is coming against you. Okay, which is a foregone conclusion. Right? This is why this is all happening, man. Because you're on that path to perdition. Right? Thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. You didn't think of the consequences of your actions. You didn't think of the consequences, man. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. There is no one your equal. And that's what you Americans believe, man. There ain't no one your equal. But there's one that's above that you've forgotten about. All right? I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come up upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries. Okay, that's a witchcraft, right? And for the great abundance of thy enchantments, right? Because you're just filling the world, in the in the minds of these people of deception, wickedness, perversions. All right, that's what you're doing. Okay. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Salakia. Verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Because you think you're slick. Right? You go to these secret meetings that you be holding. You tell the people one thing out of the open, you doing another thing in the background. And you think it's slick. You're playing these games with the minds of the people. You think you're slick, right? But you don't pull the wool over the elect's eyes, man. Okay, so someone is seeing you, right? So thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Okay, and that includes the Most High in your mind. There's no one as great as you. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Okay, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Okay, perdition. All right, stand now with thy enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels, Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Who can save you? Nobody can save you, man, because you've been set on that path. Most High sent you on that path, man, and you're going to fulfill that path. Okay, you're almost at the end of your journey. All right? You're almost at the end. Okay, your bounds, the boundary you're about to hit. You know? See, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them, right? It's the same judgment. The fire is that same judgment of destruction, right? They shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They should not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There should not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth, right? Again, relatable to Revelation, it speaks about all the merchants that are going to be crying because, America's going to be destroyed and they can't sell their goods to them anymore. Same thing, right? All these prophecies are connected, speaking about the same people, same nation, right? It's just using different names, whether it be virgin daughter of Babylon, whether it be Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon, whether it's talking about Idumea, or whether it's talking about Capernaum or what's that one, Tyrus, the king of Tyrus, wherever it is, it's still speaking about the same moment in prophecy, the judgment, that a particular judgment that's going to take place on the face of the earth. And it's been, like I say, it's been a mystery, but it's now been revealed that it's these Edomites, and that you Edomites are the so-called white man, or the so-called these white people. That's who they are. The mystery of the earth that no one knew. Like, who are the Edomites? Where are the Edomites? It's the one mystery that Esau doesn't really doesn't want to acknowledge, because I say, it's him. It's connected to him, right? And it's a damnation to be associated with that, because that's all that nation is going to receive is damnation, destruction. These are the wicked. So of course you don't want to be associated with that. So that's, for Esau, that's like, oh, we just don't know. It continues to be a mystery, but it's not a mystery to the elect. The son of perdition has been revealed, man. And it's plain and clear as day. Right? Whether you want to accept it or not. Right? But you can't escape the prophecies, man. Okay, they stick like glue. Right? This is verse 15 again. It says, thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter. None shall save thee. Right? So no one's going to take you off this path that the Most High has set you on, man. You're going to go headlong into it. Okay, and be destroyed. Right? And rise no more, as the scriptures say. You ain't going to rise again, man. Okay, these men are going to be in perpetual, well, I say perpetual slavery until 1,000 years. That time limit's up. Until that boundary is up, right? And then the Most High is going to get rid of you. Okay, so to fulfill the son of perdition, right? Because you're going to be destroyed. Okay, but first things first, your kingdom, we're going to destroy your kingdom first. The Most High going to destroy that first, man, and bring you down to the ground. We'll do with the rest after. All right, but I'm going to end it there. Lord, this was edifying, and Lord, I made the point. I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So till next time, I say shalom.